Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There's something subtle that happens when you grow up in any environment. Family, community, faith, country. You start to absorb the world not just through experience, but through repetition. You hear the same phrases, the same warnings, the same judgments, and the same comforts. And over time, those phrases become part of you. Not because you examined them and chose them, but because you didn't know you could question them. That's what we're exploring today. The quiet power of beliefs that were never really yours. We've touched on this on other episodes. These beliefs, they're what I call borrowed beliefs. Beliefs inherited, absorbed, passed down, not by force, but by familiarity. It's the kind of belief that says, this is just how things are. Or this is the way it's always been. This is what good people do. This is what success looks like. Or this is what love means. Or this is what God wants. Or this is what people like us believe. You've heard all those, I'm sure. I have. It doesn't have to be malicious. It doesn't have to be oppressive. Sometimes it's even wrapped in love. But repetition isn't the same as truth, and tradition isn't the same as trust. Because if we're not careful, we start building our entire lives on foundations that we never inspected. You can live decades believing things about yourself, about others, about the world, without ever realizing that that particular belief wasn't chosen. It was inherited. And that doesn't make it wrong, but it does make it worth questioning. So let's pause there. This is delicate terrain, I know. Because many of us were taught that questioning means disrespecting. That to doubt something handed down by parents or spiritual leaders or ancestors or culture is being ungrateful or arrogant or dangerous. But that's simply not true, guys. Questioning a belief doesn't dishonor your past. It honors your present. It says, I trust myself enough to ask why I believe what I believe. And that's not rebellion. That's responsibility. Because beliefs shape choices, and choices shape lives. So when you walk through the world on autopilot, guided by borrowed beliefs, you may find yourself trapped in roles that never fit, chasing goals that never nourished you, and fearing things that never threatened you. Let me give you a simple example. Maybe you were told that emotions are weakness. So you became stoic. You learned to tuck your tears away. You equated vulnerability with failure. You raised your children to be tough. Not because you're cold, but because someone you loved once believed that too. Maybe they believed it because their world demanded it. But does yours? Another example. Maybe you grew up with the belief that you had to earn love, that love was conditional on obedience, performance, or perfection. So even now as an adult, you overextend yourself. You seek validation. You stay quiet when something hurts you, or you feel guilty resting. Because some deep part of you still believes that love is not a given. it's a wage. That's a belief worth questioning, guys, because your worth doesn't depend on your usefulness. Here's another one. Maybe you were taught that forgiveness means forgetting, or that anger is bad, or that people can't change, or that love is control. Maybe you were taught that you're broken, that you're too much, and you're not enough, all at the same time. Maybe you were taught to fear people who look different than you, or think differently, or believe differently. Maybe you were taught that asking questions makes you a threat, or that your body is a problem, or that your joy is selfish, or that your dreams are childish. I know that somebody feels one or more of these. None of these beliefs are universal truths. They are inherited frameworks. And when you leave them unexamined, they become cages. But when you look at them honestly, patiently, they reveal their origins. And once you see the origin, you regain the power to choose. This week's practice is gentle but powerful. Ask yourself, where did I learn that? Anytime you notice a judgment about yourself or someone else, ask that question. Not to scold yourself and not to judge the source, but just to see, to be eyes open. Where did I learn that? That I'm not creative, that I need to be productive to be valuable, that conflict is dangerous, that I can't speak up, that I'm too old, too young, too broken, too far gone. Where did I learn that? And more importantly, is it still true for me now? Some beliefs will stay, not because you were told to keep them, but because you've examined them, tested them, and found them still aligned. That's not a borrowed belief. That's a chosen one. But the ones that don't fit anymore, let them go. You can release them. Not with anger, not with drama, just with clarity, seeing with new eyes. Thank them. Thank them for what they once protected, then let them go. You're not betraying your roots when you grow beyond them. You're fulfilling them. And you're not lost just because you're questioning what you once held dear. You're finding your way home to the version of you who believes genuinely, deeply, clearly. Not out of repetition, not out of fear, and not out of loyalty, but out of truth. And that, my friends, that's a belief that's worth living for. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming along with me. I love you all very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on. All right. Later, Gators. Bye-bye.